especially hot. They serve really good coffee there, and the place is just stunning, so definitely if you want to have some sort of a local experience, definitely try that.
Olá pessoal, sejam bem-vindos a mais um vídeo desse canal. Nós somos cidadãos do terceiro mundo e nesse canal nós reagimos e aprendemos sobre o primeiro mundo. Nesse vídeo nós vamos reagir a Tampere, Finlândia, coisas para se fazer em Tampere.
Portanto, aproveite a oportunidade, considere se inscrever em nosso canal, clique no gostei, compartilhe esse vídeo, faça mais sugestões nos comentários. E agora, vamos para a reação.
Well, hello there all, Kate back here and welcome to the channel. Finally I'm back in my beloved Finland, where I drink a lot of coffee and eat lots of cakes. Today we're going to visit one of the most beautiful cities in Finland, Tampere. Tampere, or from Swedish language Tammerfors, is in southwestern Finland, located between two beautiful lakes, Näsi and Pyhä. Tampere is the second largest city in Finland, is an educational industrial center, and also a major port on the lake and major railway junction. A large city by Finnish standards with over 200,000 inhabitants, Tampere, despite of its size, has managed to retain the charm of a beautiful town with this compact city center that we will see shortly and a friendly, welcoming atmosphere.
Muito bonito.
So in this video I will share 10 top sites worth visiting here in Tampere. And we're gonna start with a bit of a history. So beginning of our story of city of Tampere takes place not so long ago, in 18th century, when Finnish pastor Erik Adner proposed to found a city of Tampere on the banks of the Tamperoski Canal. The city has officially been founded as a market square in 1775 by Gustav III of Sweden. And 4 years later, in October 1st, if you're interested in specifics, in 1779, Tampere received full city rights. So if you don't bother yourself too much with math, the city is just over 200 years old. So not so old at all, a fairly young city. At the time of its founding, it was a small town, more of a village, based on the lands of Tammerkoski Manor, while most of the inhabitants were still mainly farmers. Not surprisingly, perhaps, farming was banned in the city and residents began to rely on other methods of livelihood, including trade and handicrafts. When Finland became part of Russian Empire, Grand Duchy of Finland it was, in 1809, Tampere had fewer than 1,000 inhabitants, quite a bit of a difference to today's 200,000.
Uau, era uma cidade muito nova, porém é uma cidade que se desenvolveu muito. Para uma cidade que tinha 1.000 habitantes, para ter 100.000 hoje, ela realmente se desenvolveu muito. Inclusive pela questão de ter uma industrialização lá.
É verdade, e o que mais me impressiona é como a Finlândia tem tido um desenvolvimento muito rápido e cada vez mais está mais rica, mas o que me chama a atenção também é como a cidade é nova, mas tem uma arquitetura e um charme de uma cidade antiga, e isso me encanta muito.
Number 1. The first site on our list is Tampere Cathedral. Currently it's a Lutheran church. The building was designed in the National Romantic style by Lars Zonk and built in 1907. The cathedral was famous for its frescoes painted by symbolist Hugo Zimberg between 1905 and 1906.
Wow.
The cathedral itself is gorgeous. It's located within an easy reach from the downtown, and there is a beautiful park on the premise, so would definitely recommend a short visit.
Realmente é um trabalho belíssimo.
And site number 2, a gorgeous Renaissance town hall that was built in 1890. And if you're interested in communist or revolutionary history in Russia and beyond, the Red Manifesto was read here from the balcony in 1905. So October Manifesto, or in Russian Октябрьский Manifest, was one of the most important and arguably the saddest events in Russian history. The document issued by the Emperor Nikolai II that in effect marked the end of unlimited autocracy in Russia. Not that I'm a fan of autocracy, but I'm definitely less of a fan of the era of madness that followed. with the rule of Bolsheviks. Church in a beautiful sunny yellow color. I believe personally that the most traditional colors for buildings in Finland are lovely red and lovely yellow. So here we see the old church of Tampere. So it's a wooden church that was opened in 1825 in Tampere near the central square. It's literally across the square from the Renaissance town hall that we've just seen. The old church is mainly used by Swedish-speaking Lutheran community today. And the church was designed by Italian architect and designer Carlo Bossi and was completed in 1824. Wow. And site number 4, Tampere Old Factory Area, an absolutely fascinating place. Tampere is a major commercial city and industrial center in the 19th century. The industrialization of Tampere was greatly influenced by Finlayson textile factory that was founded in 1820 by Scottish industrialist James Finlayson. His history is fascinating as well. So James Finlayson, that was born in 1772, was a British Quaker who in effect brought the Industrial Revolution to Tampere by founding Finlayson Company. Finlayson became self-trained engineer. In 1817, he moved to St. Petersburg to found textile factory with backing of Tsar Alexander I of Russia. In 1819, he visited Grand Duchy of Finland. During his religious mission to sell Bibles, interestingly enough, he visited Tampere. In the next year, Finlayson received permission from the Senate of Finland to build a factory in Tampere using water power from Tamerkoski Rapids. He moved to Tampere with his wife, Margaret.
Não vou mentir que a natureza chama demais minha atenção, porque é incrível como é tudo cercado de flores e árvores. E isso é um trabalho, né? É um trabalho de manutenção, mas isso mostra também o amor e dedicação que eles têm em relação à natureza, porque olha como é belíssimo. É um lugar que, eu não tenho dúvidas, deve ser muito, muito agradável passear por ali.
É verdade. Isso são alguns aspectos que chamam muito a nossa atenção, que é o fato de eles conseguirem desenvolver uma cidade, mas sempre em harmonia com a natureza local. Eles não simplesmente devastam a natureza toda, eles mantêm, preservam uma parte muito importante da natureza que fica em harmonia com a construção da cidade. Em nosso país, por exemplo, num bairro onde nós moramos, a gente não tem isso, simplesmente são as calçadas concretadas e muito pouco arborizadas. Então, quando a gente sempre vê imagens desses países que a gente reage e a gente vê essa harmonia da natureza com o desenvolvimento da cidade, é algo que nos impressiona, porque a gente não tem nada parecido com isso no bairro onde a gente mora.
Verdade, inclusive aqui há muitas críticas em relação a isso, porque em bairros mais pobres não tem tanta arborização ou quase nenhuma como tem nos bairros ricos. Então, até nisso, as pessoas pobres acabam sendo afetadas. Pelo menos é assim aqui no nosso país.
Finlayson, and the rest, as they say, is history. The first factory was completed in 1823 with the aid of state loan. And interesting fact, he also founded an orphanage. And my favorite site number 5, Finlayson Palace. It's located right within the Finlayson factory. It's a Renaissance palace that was built in 1899 by designer Lambert Patterson. And it was developed for Alexander von Notbag. His father actually purchased the Finlayson factory from James Finlayson. Today the place is used as a restaurant for events, for very, very expensive weddings. And another of my favorites, site number 6, Talipich Stables. They were built in 1880 for the horses and coachmen of Finlayson mill owner Wilhelm von Notbach. These charming wooden houses have been refurbished and restored in accordance with modern requirements. Today, these small houses and gardens are home to Tampere's most beautiful shopping areas. You can find really, really good quality chocolate here. It is expensive, granted, but totally worth the price. price, small boutiques and lovely cafe to sit with the coffee and enjoy the quiet atmosphere of Talipich. Best part of it is a free place to visit. It's a really cool, unusual atmosphere with unique shopping and great coffee shops. Super fun fact is that there are a lot of seasonal events that are organized here, so no matter when you visit, you'll probably have a great time here.
Incrível, incrível!
Site number 7, a neo-Baroque Nasilin palace, was built by the owner of Finlayson factory, Peter von Notbeck. You've been hearing that surname quite a bit already, right? So they were all actually related. So it was built in 1898 according to the design of architect K.A. Harm. Due to the death, sadly, of the family members and the owner of Nasilina, it was eventually bought by the city of Tampere in 1905. Already in 1908, it was transformed into a museum, which it is today. There's also a lovely coffee shop there, definitely worth a visit. So again, Scottish guy who started Finlayson later sold it to the family of von Notbeck, ethnic Germans, but actually they are from St. Petersburg. The saddest part of the story is that actually both brothers, the owners of both of the palaces, actually died literally within a few months of each other. Sounds somehow bad, the whole thing. Later, Nasilina remained unoccupied for many years and went into disrepair. Luckily for us, the restorations were completed in 2015. The ground floor has been restored in the style of early 1900s that we've seen just earlier. It's restaurant and cafe. Again, you could actually organize fairly expensive and beautiful weddings here. And the second floor houses the museum. The museum presents the history of the family, von Notbeck family, from the early 1900s. And now a little more about the history. As you see, Tampere has fairly industrial history. What we now call as a large city of Tampere used to be a teeny tiny settlement centered around the Finlayson factory, the giant cotton mill and textile manufacturing center that was, as we pointed out, founded in 1820. So it was the largest factory in Finland all the way until 1920, so for 100 years. When production, however, began to decline, sadly, it ceased to produce entirely in 1980s. So today, Finlayson area is fully transferred into this awesome city hanging out place. It houses today offices, shops, restaurants, cafes, museums, and even a theater. One of the most popular brewery restaurants in Tampere, Plevna, is actually also located here. Also an interesting fact, once the city was fully developed commercially, the culture followed. Today, Tampere is actually known as the capital of Finland in terms of culture and theater, particularly theater.
Uau, são edificações muito interessantes. Novamente aqui a gente destaca que a gente observa a manutenção dessas construções. Eu havia mencionado o nosso bairro, mas eu posso falar inclusive da nossa cidade, onde a gente mora, que não existe, tem uma parte que é mantido, coisas antigas, mas a grande maioria não existe mais. E hoje esses lugares dão espaços a muitas edificações modernas. A gente tem alguma coisa histórica em nossa cidade, mas é realmente muito pouco. E sempre que a gente reage a vídeos como esse, a gente consegue perceber que existe um interesse em manter uma grande parte dessas casas e construções da maneira como elas foram construídas. E eu acho isso muito interessante.
O que mais me impressiona, na verdade, é que, embora a gente tenha algumas construções antigas aqui, elas não são tão bem cuidadas e mantidas como a gente vê nesses vídeos. Então, isso realmente chama muito a atenção, o cuidado, o carinho que eles têm por essas coisas antigas. E aqui nós temos algumas coisas antigas, mas elas não estão assim, dessa forma. Então, realmente, é uma coisa chocante.
Inclusive, muitas edificações, elas exigem reparo e a gente não cuida disso. Isso é muito triste.
So as we pointed out, it's a fairly young city, but it is a truly thriving one. As we remember, it was founded only in 1779. Today remained barely 250 years old. And it's interesting that it was fairly underdeveloped until 1821, when Russian Tsar Alexander I stimulated its growth by providing duty-free import of raw materials and equipment. This privilege, which was valid until all the way to 1905, led to industrial expansion of the city, and Tampere as a region is thus a cradle of Finnish industrialism. Finland's first electrical lights were lit here.
Incrível, é uma cidade fascinante.
Sim.
Tem muitos lugares bonitos, é impressionante isso.
Insight number 8, your experience in Tampere would certainly be incomplete unless you actually take a walk through Koski Park. It's a gorgeous park and that allows you to see fairly well both the city of Tampere and the factory. It's very beautiful, great for evening strolls, and is very, very popular with the locals.
E as pessoas vão passear aí na noite. Olha que incrível
Insight
isso.
number 9, Pyhäjärvi Lake. I was very, very impressed that Tampere has a truly wide variety of outdoor activities without pretty much leaving the borders of one of the largest cities in Finland. You can actually get into this gorgeous nature location. So if you really want to get to the lake, this one would be a great choice for you. So in the summer, it's a very popular lake for swimming. In winter, you can do a little bit of skiing here. There's a large number of really good hotels around the area, so you don't necessarily have to stay in the city. You can actually stay outside of the city, and it's a fairly short drive to the downtown.
Uau!
É impressionante.
And finally, site number 10, Pyhänki Coffee Shop. I love Finnish language. I'm obviously really bad at pronouncing it, but I really love the words Pyhänki, Munki. Oh yes, Munkis. And this Pyhänki Coffee Shop that is actually in the observational tower of Tampere.
Wow.
They're truly amazing. This donut-like things, they were fantastic, especially hot. They serve really good coffee there, and the place is just stunning. So definitely if you want to have some sort of a local experience, definitely try that. This is an example of some of the really good hotels, the hotels where we stayed, and we really enjoyed it. That was right next to the lake that I just showed. The best thing of my experience there was actually the fact that they have a lot of vegan options on the menu and a lot of vegan options for the breakfast. So go Finland, like way out there ahead of many other countries. I am vegan myself, so it's quite difficult sometimes to find suitable things to eat, but in Finland it's not a problem. And speaking of food, in Tampere you can try something amazing, from very, very basic pancake-like things to extremely luxurious, sort of out there, higher-end restaurants as well. And Tampere would not disappoint you in either of the end, from the simple to the most luxurious dishes. You have a lot of options here, so definitely try the restaurants locally. Other than that, that's all that I wanted to tell you. Well, there's a lot more that I could tell you about Tampere, but I think that's enough for the day. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to put the like. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for being with me today, and see you soon.
Incrível. Fascinante. Fascinante. É impressionante como o continente europeu passou por muitos períodos turbulentos, mas hoje a maioria dos países de primeiro mundo se encontram lá, e olha como se desenvolvem rapidamente. Isso realmente é uma coisa chocante, porque hoje são países muito, muito ricos e que oferecem uma qualidade de vida incrível. Você vê que eles têm natureza e podem aproveitar essa natureza, podem fazer passeios noturnos. Aqui nós temos natureza, mas muitos lugares bonitos a gente não pode ir à noite e é muito perigoso ir à noite. Então acaba que a gente não aproveita tudo como deveria. Então é um sonho.
Não, sem dúvidas, é incrível como a gente sempre está conhecendo mais desse incrível país que é a Finlândia. É um local muito diferente, é um local muito interessante porque ele parece ser um lugar mágico. A gente consegue perceber muitas coisas diferentes que tem nesse lugar, apesar de não parecer, pelo menos pelo que a gente viu aqui no vídeo, não parece ser um lugar muito grande, mas é um lugar que tem uma variedade muito interessante de coisas para se conhecer lá. E, novamente, né, no final desse vídeo a gente viu que tinha cogumelos ali, mas isso demonstra e reforça pra gente justamente a imagem que a gente tem desses lugares na Finlândia, que há uma harmonia muito interessante entre a natureza e as construções. Eles respeitam muito a natureza que tem lá e eu acho isso fantástico, porque fica um equilíbrio, fica harmonioso e fica muito bonito. É um lugar realmente muito bonito.
Sem dúvida.
Mas essa foi a reação desse vídeo. Portanto, aproveite a oportunidade, considere se inscrever em nosso canal, clique no gostei, compartilhe esse vídeo e faça mais sugestões nos comentários.
Muito obrigada por assistir esse vídeo e nos vemos na próxima reação. Tchau!